Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order, November 1st, Town of Horseheads Planning Board meeting. First, I need a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
I think I found one correction. It's probably a spelling error, but under other business on the last page, in item B, discussion of eliminating the first 250-foot residence A on town, is that roads or boards?
Roads.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Does it say town roads?
It says town boards.
Yeah, but it says town road.
Should be roads.
Yeah, make it roads in the town.
Roads in the town.
Yeah, because it's not, it wouldn't be just town roads.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for the amendment.
Okay. Second.
Call the roll.
Ken Castro,
Here.
Alan Curran,
Aye.
Angela Hawken, Joe Atkinson.
Aye. Okay, we have no correspondence. Under old business. Item A, number 260D, Journey Church 116, Breezeport Road, Horseheads, referral from the town board.
There it is. Speaking.
For you.
You look so happy to be here.
Yeah, please share that. Was it, no, the other day, Tina and Kathy and I were talking about the agenda and stuff. And Kevin walks in the door and I go, speak of the devil. I said, that's pulpit worthy.
That's funny.
So I think where we are, it looks like from your last email that really the request for amendment of the PUD is down to the gym.
Yes.
And that there's not gonna be any requests for something that'll make it a venue as far as okay, at that point in time, so I think this is gonna be on the town board agenda next week to call the public hearing for December. So based upon that, I believe we probably could put together the planning board resolution for next meeting for the recommendation to the town board. So that the town board has it for their December meeting, that the public hearing will be at the December meeting. Then if they want to act by the January meeting, we can do that. So unless anybody has anything else, they've sort of taken the main thing off the table.
Yes. The only thing is that my question is with this PUD, are they going to, or what we're asking, every time they get a potential tenant, they're gonna have to bring this to the board and go through this whole thing?
Not a
Or-
potential tenant for what they're allowed to use, which would be the professional offices and if they ultimately approved the gym.
Okay,
They
so
will-
professional offices from the original PUD
Yeah.
plus
Yeah,
the retail type business of a gym.
yes. Yeah, they would be able to do that no matter what. If they decided to do something else, then they'd have to come back again for an amendment. Of the
Okay,
plan.
like a barber shop or anything like that
Yeah,
type of thing.
Yeah, and the barber shop is gone at this point in time. There's no request for that.
The only other thing I thought of is and I know you wouldn't, but a novelty shop or something like that goes in there or whatever, That's all we need, but.
You just ruined my Christmas surprise. So unless but there's nothing we have to vote on, we'll take the vote at the next meeting for the recommendation. And that makes it simple. You can go home and shovel the driveway. What are we?
see any other questions.
Okay.
I guess that's it.
Great. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Okay, under old business item B, number 916, Renova Solar on behalf of Chemung Supply Corporation, 61 Philo Road, Elmira.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye-bye. Good see you, team. Greg, did we find that? You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, John.
Okay.
The only mention I saw of the PUD, which is why I thought that they were in a PUD, and I still think they're in a PUD, is for the 607 Pro Sports Complex that was previously approved on that property. That went through as a PUD amendment.
Okay.
So, based upon that, I just assumed that it was a PUD, and I believe that it is.
Okay, regardless of whether it is or it isn't, you want one. Because you're gonna be changing setbacks and stuff like that,
Yeah,
at
I
this
think that's
point.
probably the easiest path to approval for
right?
the project,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so. Most of what you need, I think you have. The town board is gonna formally refer it to the planning board at their next meeting, which is a week from today. And then I think we would just need the what you've already got and the statement of intent under 204-89.
Okay.
And then this board can move forward and make their recommendation to the town board, and then we gotta get everything has to go to. We gotta get it out to the county planning board.
So do I submit a statement of intent to the town board or to,
Technically, it's going to the town board, but they're gonna refer by next week, so if you have it done, great, if not, it'll just come over
okay,
when received. So if they have it, then that'll work. And I think you have all the other, what is it, the preliminary, what do they call it? You gotta get preliminary proposal you've already got done, so we're either amendment or whatever, but I guess a couple things the board should probably consider is the preliminary proposal is fairly simple. I since it's just for solar, the question would be, do you believe that we need a topo of the land? And I guess we're familiar enough with the flat piece of property that we probably don't need a topo. Yeah, the existing land uses are zero at this point in time. I think the only building that was on there is gone from years ago. Approximate location of streets. There are not gonna be any streets. There's not gonna be any public streets. And existing land uses. And Greg, what we said is that although we're not sure this might be part of it, the PUD does cover across the street. So it's the same, so we'll figure out exactly where we are, but we know we want to be an extension of that PUD, if nothing else.
Correct. Yeah, so I think in looking, so Elmira Structures owned the parcel that they're currently on and that parcel across the street and went through the process of creating a PUD there, and then since obviously has sold that property to Chemung Supply. So yes, it's a PUD. Used
Okay.
to be owned by both owners, but now split. by the street and there's two different owners, so,
Right,
yep.
okay. Yeah, that should be it for that.
Does anybody have anything else?
Did we make a determination who's gonna maintain the solar?
So Chemung Supply is going to be ultimately responsible for it. They haven't determined if they're going to sign an O&M contract with Renovus or not. But ultimately, they're the owners of the system,
Yeah, this is like the solar project in your backyard.
right?
You know, in a different way. It's privately owned, or it's commercially owned, but it's not by a company that knows.
Yeah, it's not, what we call, it's not a project, a
Right, it's
community,
not a community farm.
right,
No, but it's not interconnected via community distributed generation. It is, all of the power is owned by Chemung Supply and going back to their facilities.
But if there was a problem with any of the panels or anything, how would you know that? There would be a way you would know that?
Sure, so Chemung Supply will have access to a monitoring portal. That will show them how the system is producing in real time. If they decide to sign an O&M contract with us, we will also be monitoring that then regularly. We will always have access to it as the installers of the project. But how regularly we check it and, you know, reinforce that depends on whether or not they go with us for O&M.
That's something we want to see ahead of time is what they decide to do about the maintenance.
well, you know. We could ask, but I don't know that we need to know, because we don't know who's responsible for. The maintenance of their own buildings, of their own, their own driveway, their own. You know, we don't usually get into a company's business that deep at this point in time. It would be,
It would have, we'd have to, or they'd have to verify through the fire department and all that. Stuff like we did the other ones, right? I mean,
well, yeah, it'd still be a solar project that, yes.
as far as screening it off or anything like that, because it's so close to the road, is there gonna be any?
That's what you're gonna look at.
Okay.
That's when we get the final site plan.
Yep.
The fencing and the landscaping, if there's any, and all that stuff.
Not what people don't see them.
Yeah, so the site plan that we've submitted is pretty basic, but also meant for you to react to. We are still waiting our final approval from NICEAG for this project, and so until we get that, we're at a standstill for any further design unless it comes from your province.
Correct. Alrighty,
Anybody have anything else to ask or whatever?
On your part one, the last one, there's a statement there that, and Ken think that's who is that you marked a yes and there's no description of it, that's minor, but
Oh, thank you. What question was it?
about the,
Remediation site?
So. There's no description of it. Yeah, it came up as a remediation site or near one, on the long form that I did, it described, I think it had some numbers, EEC numbers, but I don't know anything more, you know, beyond that it was near.
1911. What was the one that came up on somebody's neck? It was, if they used it for shooting or something.
well, the other thing too is just right across the street from, or right across the road track from the glass.
Yeah.
You know, Westinghouse and Ingersoll Rand and
Yeah, all that, yeah, that whole,
that,
You know, what the rod and gun.
The railroad.
For is where I brought up about the trap field. Shooting towards where the panels were gonna be.
right. Yeah, yeah, that's true. All that stuff is still going on. I assume that pump still pumps over there at this point in time, but I don't know if that would be it or not.
We had also discussed the access to the, do we have any more? That we wanted to know about the access to.
Well, we'll see it when they present their plans, yes. Yeah, I think we have to, yeah. You're right.
Other than that, I'd say we're done. For now.
Yeah. You guys sort of like a town board meeting time frame.
It's no longer.
About twice as much.
We're talking about the question about the access to the site, about whether there was going to be any sort of. Aisle down the middle, or what sort of access?
I think what we had discussed at the last meeting was we wanted to make sure that you had the ability to get around the site. And then, you know, then the fire department had to get in there, and they get in there.
Yep.
And then I want access in and out. You know,
Yeah, Danny, if the fire department had to get in there, what would they be? I mean, if I mean, you know, the panels and stuff, but it seemed like the thing most be a problem would be where the converter and all that is, right?
That's all accessible at the driveway.
Right in the
That's
front.
right at the top of
That'd
the
be the
driveway.
main problem,
Because
right?
even if it shuts down, it's still active,
Yeah,
there's still
Yeah,
power.
the panels are still making power, so long as there's light on them.
Mhm.
But-
So what we.
That one's in horses and heights districts on.
That's our fire chief.
The directive we've always heard from, you know, from fire stations and that we've said is protect the perimeter.
That's
All
right.
the equipment is insured, there's no one living
You're
there.
not gonna put it out.
Yeah,
That's even with solar panels on homes. You're not gonna.
let 'em-
The only thing that could get in there is, and again, it's probably only depends on the vegetation. And how dry it gets or something.
yeah, and that
Cause a grass
happens,
fire.
that happens
That
everywhere.
back field's caught on fire already once. Last year, came up over the hill.
Yeah, when we were kids, we used to set everything on fire. in these
Oh,
times.
yeah, help the farmer out.
Well, I don't know to help the farmer out, but I'm sure took care of where we wanted to play baseball and stuff in the summer.
some part in that.
and if the fire department had to get in there, how would they get in there? It's a locked gate, right?
And we have tools.
They got a universal.
Well, it was like, I think it was like with the cell phone towers, we put it in the regulations that these guys had to have keys.
Okay.
We have that universal key. It cuts anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Or we have a big truck.
One of the interesting things, and it really doesn't do with this one, but you know, they're talking about pollinators and stuff like that, you know, the landscaping that you do at the end of this type of thing, you know, they were talking about agriculture. Well, like the pollinators and the stuff that you can put in there that's got a low growth capabilities that could help those type of environmental things.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, you know, what's nice is there's so much open space in between the rows and underneath the panels. And so we always recommend non-chemical, you know, management of the vegetation underneath, and you can go in and plant pollinating, or plants that feed the pollinators. So
That's about it. I
that's
think
it.
we're done for tonight.
Yeah.
Great.
I don't know.
So we'll see the town board then next Wednesday, or you will.
Yeah,
It's my daughter's third birthday.
yeah,
so,
well, I'm gonna say, really for that, it's just gonna be a referral,
Referral to the planning board.
referral to the planning board, so there's not gonna
There's
be
not gonna
any,
be any action.
there's not gonna be any discussion.
Refer to the planning.
You wanna.
And they've got a page and a half agenda, so I can guarantee there ain't gonna be any discussion.
Well, like I say, what it'll be is like John just said, there's one, the item comes up, and just let everybody know it's gonna be a referral to the planning board.
Great.
To do it, so there's nothing for everybody.
Okay, I'll get that statement of intent then done ahead of time. Is there instructions that you said a code number, I think? When I looked that up and
The
all-
statement of intent,
Yeah,
in is section 204-89.
great. Okay, so I'll write one up. I'll read that. And
Yeah.
send that out.
And it's fairly simple, you know, that, I think there shouldn't be a big issue with any of it, it's. And there's a request, I think, for a statement of. Up above, under 204-87, the preliminary proposal, that one of the things is a statement of proposed financing, so if he's gonna. which I would bet he probably isn't, but if he's gonna use financing, whatever, for the installation.
Yeah, they've already secured whatever funds they were going to
Yeah.
get, so. Great, okay then.
Yeah, so 204-87, 204-89, just include those things. That answer those questions. Okay.
Thank you so much, appreciate it. Would there be a? Sorry, one more question. On here. Would there be a public hearing at any point?
Yeah.
Yes, there will be, the town board will call the public hearing. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Very good.
just double.
Right.
Until it comes back out.
I'm supposed to be that.
I guess
Family gets the
under other business,
Take turns.
overlay zones. with
We're waiting the meeting down at your house.
Discussion of eliminating the first 250 foot. I guess that's,
Resident A district
residents A, town roads.
in all, yeah. All the roads have, so the question is.
Bye-bye.
You know, is that, it's probably reasonable. The problem's gonna be is it's gonna take a map sitting out in order to determine where to do it and where not to do it.
That's gonna be almost like a workshop.
Yes. Because, you know, you got areas like going out, Breezeport Road, we have all houses. So you wouldn't want to throw them into a ag and hill zone. You know, so, but other areas where there has been no development, we could bring the ag and hill zone out to the road. And in a lot of those areas, it's being used by that way anyway. So why we need to do. There, I think I told you the reason why it was done was to keep the landfill out of the town of Horseheads at the time. My father was the county attorney, my father was a town attorney, and so he knew how they were gonna site the landfill, because he was also the attorney for the solid waste. So he rezoned all the everything in the town of Horseheads along the roads residential. Because they said they wouldn't site it in a residential area.
Ta-da.
But now it probably doesn't make sense.
Well, the thing is like you say, it doesn't really make an awful lot of sense to change it really either, because all it does is it opens up for potential development. But right now, the farmers are using it as it is, so it's not like we're not citing, we're not doing like we're not going after them.
It's really funny because what it ends up being is that if somebody violates that zone without coming in and asking, then they're fine, they're doing it. Nobody's gonna complain. But if they happen to come in and ask, what can we do? Then we're telling them the truth, then they go, well, you mean I can't do that? And they go, and so now the person who wants to do it right can't do it, the person who's doing it wrong can do it. So that's the reason to change.
Sounds to me like a sticker shock.
Yeah,
Later, I'm selling that. You just can't get marijuana with it.
I got a question. Why wouldn't we were in a training session the other day, and there were these cities and towns that are doing exactly what Chemung's doing, putting up solar farms, whether it's on their buildings or in the fields or property they own, and they're actually making money for the town. Why wouldn't we think of doing something like that? White Plains is gonna make $1 million a year on a solar
Put it up
project.
on their own property.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, why wouldn't we kind of look into something like that?
yeah, I know, you're right. You're right.
Talking about,
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think, I think we've talked
I
about
make a
it.
motion to adjourn this meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can adjourn it and say goodbye.
Thank
If it
you.
hasn't already been done.
Tina's over there going, I don't want to check all these, no.
So, Jen, I have a question.
Yes.
We don't need resolutions
Perfect,
to
thanks.
send
I
this
will.
to the town.
Thank
We
you.
just need discussions.
Okay,
Yeah.
and my second question,
Well.
going down to the county for Renovus, would it be PUD amendment?
Oh, yesterday.
Well, we're gonna figure that out.
Okay, so I won't send it, I was.
Probably that's what we're gonna say.
All
Yeah.
right, well, you
I'm
let
get-
me know,
I'm
then
getting
I'll
the
send
yes, that's what it is.
I didn't know if there was, okay, PUD amendment. Yay.
Just gonna find out which PUD it is.
All right,
I called out, I called out.
well, I'll check with you before I send it to the county, Greg. All right, okay, all right, Joe. You did good.